Hello, I figured it would be a lot easier to just answer your questions than to type all of that out. So, first question was, any update on getting cameras back into the Bobcat rehab area? Yes, Randall is here working on that today because of the amount of internet bandwidth that's needed and power. They're having to run extra power and extra internet, so that's why that is all taking so long. But he's here and his supplies have arrived. I think all of them are here, so hopefully he will be able to at least resolve the rehab area today. Is all the fence chain link so the baby bobs can't fit through it like they could on the 2x4 or 4x4 wire? Yes, all of the bobcat rehab cages have 1-inch mesh. We had to make it small enough that the rats can't escape through it, so it's all 1-inch mesh. And like wherever you have pipes around a door, it's also got like a welded flap to keep that from being a gap that either the kittens or the rats could get out of. Do all of the released bobcats have trail cams? No. It depends on where the cats are released. Sometimes places will only allow us in there very briefly and they tell us we can only bring a couple of people. And so those are not places we can get back into and set up trail cams. The only reason really for setting up the trail cams was to make sure that we were doing it right and that the cats were surviving. And what we're finding is they are. So we know we've got it down pat as far as how to rehab a cat for release back to the wild. It's just fun to see pictures of them enjoying themselves. And when you figure sometimes we're having to drive 3 and 4 hours across the state to release them, it's crazy the amount of driving going back and forth to grab those photos off of a camera. So not everywhere. Are more trail cams needed? Yes, we can always use trail cams because there are more places that we can release cats and do set up the camera traps, and we use them a lot around the sanctuary. If a cat's not acting right, we can set up a trail cam for a couple of nights and see if we're seeing something at night, like maybe there's some visitor, a raccoon or something that's got them upset. So they're always handy to have. And the highest, heaviest duty, most powerful, fastest SD cards, which are like $60 and $70 a piece, those are really worthwhile because we don't have to change them out so frequently. Have any of the released cats recently been spotted? Yeah, Jamie was showing me some footage that she got the other day. I just don't remember who she was showing me. And Thor shows up all the time. Could be just because we get to check that camera more often because he's close by. Cat health updates. Cats people keep asking for a new update on our Cameron. Cameron ate great yesterday and the day before, I think. Like unbelievably well. So we're really excited about that. And Keisha, who's not on your list, actually yesterday scared us to death because she had only eaten 2 pounds. And then this morning she ate her 3-pound breakfast and I think a 5-pound snack just because we were moving Jasmine back and had food in the bucket that Jasmine didn't want. And she's like, hey, I'll take that. And so Catherine was like, hey, I'll feed her as much as she'll eat. That skinny little butt. Andre and Arthur, they're not doing so well. They're 22 years old. And Amanda's still doing well at that age, but the boys are really starting to show their age, and so they're not eating nearly as much as we would like to see them eat, but they sleep all day too. Breezy's doing fine. She's loving the grooming that Karma's been giving her. Karma uses the telescoping, I have one somewhere here, telescoping back scratcher on her, and she's been really loving that. She's been eating well. Tiger Lilly will not allow us to groom her, and she's one of our oldest cats right now. I think Tiger Lilly and Riza are our 2 oldest cats. Tiger Lilly has not been on our observation chart until just recently, and so she's had a couple of days recently that she's not eaten very well, and that's a first for her because she's always done great. So I think she may be declining as well. Guatemala questions. Can I start a second Guatemala webpage, a page that can be linked to from the Circus Band page, and will of course link back to it, a page that we can keep adding the latest updates to? I cannot update the salsa page, and besides being too many updates, there would make people leave before donating. Yes, I think that's a great idea. Just give it a really short name like Guatemala, if we haven't already used that, so that it's easy for us to remember to promote. I think that's a great idea. And what's the latest on the Guatemala cats? They are currently, I think, 9, whatever the last group was. I think it was 7 tigers and 2 lions came in, and then before that it was 3 lions. They are all at the temporary camp. We just sent down another $5,000, this time to ADI. All of the money that we had sent before this, we sent to Antigua Exotic, and I think it was like $11,000 or $13,000 that we sent to Antigua Exotic to start building the temporary camp. So we have paid to build the play yards for the cats to be able to get out of their transports and have some time on the grass for the first time in their life. We have pitched in toward the perimeter fence to keep people and their dogs from just walking up to the tiger cages. We helped pay for, well, we paid for the upgrades to the electricity and the upgrades to the plumbing so that they could actually drill a well to bring water to the temporary camp, and so that the freezers would be able to get enough power. And then ADI bought the freezers, and ADI has been buying the food, and we sent down the money to cover our cat's portion of the food for the next 2 months. And I forget what else we gave them money for. We also paid ADI for building the transports that will go on the plane to ship the cats to us, I think. And we may have pitched in toward the building of the rescue cages, but I'm not sure about that one. I think ADI may have picked up all of the cost on those big ones that fit on the back of the truck, the big open cages. And so ADI staff is there at the temporary camp taking care of the animals, and they are all doing well and really enjoying not being in the circus, not being beaten, and getting regular meals and vet care. And so it's all good. We have applied on our end, well, we started the application process on our end for the import permits to bring them into the U.S. And so far, there's only one other sanctuary that has donated anything to any of these efforts, and that is a non-accredited facility called Tigers for Tomorrow. And we do not share their philosophical beliefs. They believe that we have to keep tigers in cages or else people aren't going to get to see tigers, which we absolutely don't agree with. But at least they're not breeding and they're not doing the photo ops and that kind of stuff. And they're willing to take 6 of the cats, and they're willing to actually take care of them while they are in Guatemala, which so far nobody else has been willing to do. The current things that need funding there, the cats got to eat. So ADI had only planned on taking the 5 lions. They were not planning on any of the tigers coming to them. We had said that we would take 3 of the tigers, and now Tigers for Tomorrow is saying that they would take 6. So we're sending money for the food for our cats to eat while they're there. I don't know whether or not Tigers for Tomorrow is, but my guess is that they will be sending money to feed their cats. And the other things that still have to be purchased are, of course, the food. And there's electric bills, and the Antigua Exotic is charging, I think, $600 a month rent to ADI for them to all share a little hut there to take care of the animals. The biggest cost is the reason that most other sanctuaries are not getting involved, because they are afraid of the really big costs that are involved in shipping the cats here. And so nobody knows for sure if that's going to be $4,000 per cat or $8,000 per cat. And they don't want to be sending money to ADI or to Antigua Exotic and feel like they're sending their donors' money away and may not get the cats. We believe that regardless of whether or not the cats actually get here, whether or not Fish and Game will, or not Fish and Game, but the Wildlife Service, whether or not they will actually issue the export and import permits like we're hoping, those cats are out of the circus, and we're taking care of feeding them there and taking care of them in a place where they're going to be safe. So we feel like our donors understand that it's better, even if it's not perfect and we don't have any insurances. And so that's why we are continuing to send money down there to try and take care of those animals. And then in addition to the shipping costs, there's going to be the cost of the crates that the cats go in. Like I said, we've already sent our money for the 3 cats coming here. But then once they get to the U.S., once they get to the, come on, once they get to the U.S., then you're talking again tens of thousands of dollars shipping these animals to wherever they end up, because there's only a few ports that will allow this kind of a shipment. And so in our case, they have to go all the way down to Miami. And then that means we have to arrange for trucking to get them up to Tampa, because we don't have trucks that are that big. Are we getting the 3 recently mentioned tigers? ADI says that they've picked out the tigers for us that they thought would suit our needs most, and that is Kimba, Simba, and somebody else. Whoever those 3 were that they were saying. So it's looking like it's going to be them. I think, Max, I think. And I think Max is 8 years old, and the other 2 are like year and a half, yearlings, something like that. But typically what we do is we offer to take the oldest cats, because we can provide better medical care for the cats than most other facilities. But this might be the oldest ones that are there, because when they can't use them anymore, they just kind of disappear from other places. It'll be quite a while before the cats are coming here to arrive, but has the import paperwork been started? Yes. Is this something that we can or cannot keep people updated on? Well, you can update them that we have done the paperwork, but I wouldn't talk about it an awful lot, because there's just not anything to say. So it might be easier for you just to post this video somehow, maybe download it and then repost it. If that's easier than having to type all of that out, I am fine with that. Thank you for covering all that. Bye. And thank you, everybody, for caring.